All right, let's just get right into it. There are some debates on the internet that are, truly epic. But this one might be the most passionate, the most ridiculous, the one that has literally destroyed friendships and launched a million angry comments. You know what I'm talking about. We're talking about pineapple on pizza.
I mean, you gotta ask, right? Why? Why does this one single topping cause a total global food fight? It's just fruit. But, oh, it is so much more than that. And the real story behind it? Way, way wilder than you'd ever guess. To some, it's a crime against humanity, a complete insult to all things pizza. To others, it's genius. So today, we're gonna unpack the whole thing. We're gonna follow the surprisingly crazy story of the world's most controversial pizza. All right, Section 1, an accidental Canadian invention. And right away, here's the first huge surprise. The Hawaiian pizza? Well, it has absolutely nothing to do with Hawaii. Not even a little bit. In fact, it's not even American. So let's set the scene. The story starts with a guy named Sam Panopoulos. He's a Greek immigrant, moves to Canada in '54. By the early 60s, he and his brothers are running a diner in Ontario. Now, here's the thing. They start serving pizza, but Sam isn't trying to be some Italian purist. His real inspiration came from the sweet and sour Chinese dishes he was making. So in 1962, he just gets an idea. He grabs a can of pineapple and throws it on a pizza, pretty much just to see what would happen. I mean, listen to the man himself. We just put it on, just for the fun of it, see how it was going to taste. Think about that. This entire global food war, all the arguments, all the memes, it started because a guy in a Canadian diner was bored and just having some fun. No master plan, just a little moment of what if.
And the name Hawaiian, you're probably thinking, oh, it's inspired by Hawaiian cuisine, right? Nope, it had nothing to do with Hawaii at all. It was just the brand name on the can of pineapple he happened to use. That's it, an accidental name for a totally accidental invention.
Okay, so now we're diving into the science of sweetness. Because you have to wonder, right? If this whole thing was just a random experiment, why do people feel so strongly about it? Well, it's not just about what you think is right or wrong on a pizza. A big part of it is actually hardwired into your taste buds. It all boils down to this thing called flavor contrast. Basically, our brains love it when opposing flavors crash into each other. You know, like sweet and salty? Think about salted caramel, or maybe melon wrapped in prosciutto. That clash is what makes it so interesting and, for many of us, so delicious.
And that's exactly what's happening on a Hawaiian pizza. You've got the pineapple, which brings the sweet and the acidic punch. Then you've got the ham and cheese, which are all about that salty, savory, umami flavor. That acidity from the pineapple actually cuts through all the richness and fat from the cheese, so for some people, it's this perfect, exciting balance. But for others, it's just a flavor car crash.
So, we've got a Canadian invention, a bit of taste science, but look, if you're still sitting there thinking, nope, fruit on pizza is just wrong, period, you might want to take a deep breath, because things are about to get a whole lot weirder. Which brings us to Sweden's banana pizza twist. Yes, you heard me right. Because apparently, Sweden looked at pineapple on pizza and said, that's cute. Now hold my drink and pass me the bananas.
No, I am not kidding. Let's just look at this. In Sweden, banana curry pizza is a totally normal thing. You've got the Tropicana. That's banana, pineapple, curry, and ham. You got the Flying to Jacob with chicken, banana, and peanuts. I mean, all of a sudden, a little pineapple and ham seems kind of conservative, doesn't it?
And this really highlights the big idea here, right? Tradition is not universal. What's a total food crime in one country is just what you order on a Tuesday night in another. It really shows there's no single right way to make a pizza. But that raises a really interesting question. What happens when this new school thinking goes head-to-head with the old guard?
And that leads us to our grand finale, an Italian reconciliation. We're taking this story all the way to the one place on earth where pineapple on pizza isn't just disliked, it's considered an absolute sin. We're going to Naples, Italy, the birthplace of pizza itself. So you've got this standoff. On one side, you have the establishment, the official Neapolitan Pizza Association with super strict rules. For them, pineapple is heresy. It's a complete taboo. But on the other side, you have this guy, Gino Sorbillo. He's not just some random cook. He's a legendary, third-generation pizziolo, a rock star. And he decides to do the unthinkable. He puts pineapple pizza on his menu, in Naples, to, in his words, combat food prejudice. And his whole philosophy is right there in that quote. People are mistrustful of anything different. Things should be tasted first, and then you express your view. His point was, hey, don't knock it till you've tried it done right. He wasn't just trying to cause trouble. He was making a stand for open-mindedness. Taste first, then have your opinion.
So here we are, the final verdict. After a journey that took us from a tiny diner in Canada all the way to the historic streets of Naples, where do we actually stand? Is it right or is it wrong?
Because when you look at the big picture, you realize this was never really about a piece of fruit. It's a story about accidental genius in a Canadian diner. It's about the simple science of flavor. It's a wild look at how culture totally shapes what we think is delicious. And maybe most importantly, it's about that timeless struggle between tradition and innovation.
After a journey from Ontario to Naples, we find that the only opinion that truly matters is yours. There's no objective right or wrong here. So now that you've heard the whole story, where do you stand?
And maybe more importantly, what food rule is worth breaking next? I mean, this whole thing, this global phenomenon, started because one guy decided to try something weird for fun. It really makes you wonder, what's the next great food debate just